I'm so used to calling you Miss Cameron because, you know, when I had the opportunity of being at the school, I was, you know, helping the school out, PTSA. Yeah. You were one of, I mean, probably the most influential business that we partnered with through the school. And you've done so much for, I know, for myself, the schools, and just tell me, Miss Cameron, who is the owner of Subway. You know, this is the Subway in Sandtown, right off of Campbellton and Camp Creek. And this is a pillar of the neighborhood, because this is where, I mean, I remember there was nothing here.
Yeah,
and
now look.
And look at you.
I know.
And you've opened up a store. So tell me, you know, where did that come from? The willingness to want to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, listen, Joel, thank you for taking the time out to talk to me. You know, I feel honored and privileged to be here with you today. And we're friends. You're my realtor. Right, so this is me and you right now talking.
Right.
I do want to start off by saying that God owns this store. I'm just a servant leader. He chose me to be here in this community at this present time, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm a steward, and I'm just trying to absolutely do my best. Why did we pick Subway? Why did we choose this type of business?
Right.
Because, you know, we all know that food is the happy medium that brings people together, right?
Lord knows what makes me happy.
Listen, when you get around some food, you have great conversation, you got good people in your midst, things begin to happen. Things start to change in your life just from engaging, fellowshipping with people. Right. So it made sense for us. Number two, we decided to do Subway because it's more health conscious. It's a healthier, viable option for people in our community. Because you know, in our community, you're gonna see your Popeyes, your McDonald's, your Wendy's, all these other fast food companies that are not necessarily all that good for us, right? But at the time, 14 years ago, because this is 14 years since.
Wow, you've been there 14 years now?
14 years, yes.
I remember when you opened up the store.
Yes.
Wow.
And like you said, nothing was here. And so when we did our research and our marketing analysis, and we kind of scoped the land, we kind of did, the thing that Nehemiah did. We walked around here 7 times. We just, made sure that this is what God wants for us and where we needed to be. Now, the funny thing is, Joe, that I've never worked in fast food ever in my life.
Get out of here.
So this was a calling from God.
Right.
This was something different.
Right.
And I was like, God, what are we doing here, And I wasn't even familiar with this neighborhood.
Okay.
But I know that I was strategically placed in Sandtown for a reason. And I met you for a reason. And I know my calling is bigger than food.
Right.
It's bigger than food, And I'm just glad that I'm able to be here in this community and to serve God's people. So.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And but I know being an entrepreneur is not easy.
Ooh.
I mean, you got to go through, like, when people don't come in, you got to make sure you're here.
Yeah.
You got to take over when things happen.
Absolutely.
The financial part. I mean, it's just so much to it. So, I mean, what made you? This is your first time being an entrepreneur, right? Was it your first time, or did you grow
definitely.
into?
No, that's a good question. I call myself a solopreneur. I was always doing little things. Growing up in New York, I've always been like a natural hustler.
Okay.
I've always tried to find a way to make some extra change.
So your roots in New York.
My roots are New York.
Okay.
The Bronx, to be specific.
The Bronx. Okay.
So I like to say that I was actually equipped for the challenge.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? It came from my roots, like you said, my upbringing. I always give credit to New York City because it's just different when you're raised in that city. And in most urban cities, as a kid who didn't have much, I was raised in the projects. I had a 2-parent home, but one parent was absent, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Just mentally and spiritually, the body was there, but wasn't there. My dad. And so, I just always had that drive and that push. So when I came into this business and I became an entrepreneur, I knew how to quickly think on my feet because I was taught that as a young girl, how to think on your feet. I was taught from my mom and my grandma compassion. So that's that level of customer service that I give. I learned that as a little kid.
Yeah.
And so everything just transitioned very nicely. Now, of course, with any business, you have your ups and your downs, and you just have to be able to, number one, and I say this to my staff, manage your emotions.
Right.
You got to learn how to manage your emotions. You have to operate.
You mean, like with the customers that come in, all of them aren't like real happy to be here, and just loving the service, having the best day in the world.
Absolutely. Some of y'all watching right now, you already know you coming here with attitude.
Right.
But what I share with the staff and what I know before I walk through this door, that I have the ability to change somebody's day, especially as an opener.
Yeah.
I know that I'm probably maybe the first or second person that they see that morning. Think about it. They wake up.
Right.
They may see their kids or their spouse or whatever, get them on their way, and they get in the car to drive to their destination, whether it's work or dropping the kids off.
Right.
And then they're gonna come see me and get something to eat.
Okay.
I have a strong impact on how their day or their next moments might flow. I'm very conscious of that.
Wow.
So if you come into this store, you're gonna get a hello.
Right.
How are you? Welcome in. How was your drive? What's going on? And when I ask people how are they, I really want to know how are you.
Right,
and I can read into your soul. I can look in your eyes, and if you're telling me a story, we're going to be here for a minute because I'm going to have a whole conversation with you about what's going on inside of you. So that's something that I try and train the staff on, like, just having a level of compassion, being able to almost like read the room and execute with dignity and grace. Yeah. Period. And everything else will follow suit. And a lot of people, ask me sometimes, like, what is my procedure for hiring, and how do I do it? I say all the time that, like, I can train anybody to make a sandwich. Right. But I can't teach you how to be a good person. Gotcha. So when I'm talking to these young people in the community, I try to, when I interview them, get to the heart of who they are. I ask them questions like, do you have chores at home? Do you have brothers and sisters? Are you the big sister, the big brother? How do you treat your little sister well? What are your activities at school? Do you go to church? I do. I ask a lot of different questions because I'm trying to get to the core of that person and to see how their personality is. Right. So that's been like one of my secret sauces, I would say, in hiring. And this lady this morning said to me today, she was like, I hardly get to see you because I come in the evenings now. And she said, but your crew at night, they are stellar. Yeah, and I've been here at night too. They're on point. She said, I said, I can't take the credit. We give it to God. We give it to their parents. I said, because when I get the kids, I get them how they are. They come to me as is. And so I just kind of try and mold them and mentor them and partner with the parents. Yes. To make sure that we can execute the plan and deliver good service. And that was one of the questions I had too, because you do take these young adults. These are that they're trying to find their way. Yeah. They're trying to understand as far as like what's the proper etiquette for business, respect, and working with customers, which is so important. And it's so great to see someone who takes that patience, that time, in order to help mold these kids. Absolutely. So there's schools are in this area, and I know a lot of them are attending those schools, and they're employed here. Yes. So how is that? And I like how the fact that you ask those questions. Oh, yeah. So I just think that's important. Now you were talking about compassion. Now one of the things I know about you, and I know personally, as when we were we were helping the administration out at Sandtown Middle School, and we had a situation that came up where someone was it was Teacher Appreciation Week, and someone was supposed to come in and bring lunch to the teachers, and for some reason they didn't deliver. Literally. And you know who the first person we called, don't you? We called you, and it was amazing how you got your staff together. You didn't panic. You were able to deliver, along with a couple of other businesses, food. And the great part was, you didn't even ask for compensation. So where does that compassion where does that come from? And I know you also feed the homeless. Yes. You feed the homeless under the bridge. Where does that compassion come from? My parents, my mom, my grandma taught me compassion through their actions every day. I saw my mom, God rest her soul, she was a beautiful spirit. She took me and my sister along with her everywhere. My mom volunteered everywhere. She did everything. She served in the church. And I just, by her example, I saw her do that and I knew that I was going to do that. That's one thing. And then also my staff knows, you know, when I hire them and I talk to them, I always tell them, like, there's nothing that we turn down. Only thing we turn down is our collars up in here. When people come in here and they need something, we deliver with excellence. Period. Some of them get it, some of them don't. But it's okay. And I demonstrate tough love. That's why I coin myself the mompreneur, because I'm a mompreneur. And I tell them, the young people that are hired here, and I love my Westlake kids. I just love them. My entire staff is Westlake, to be honest with you. I make sure I circulate the dollars within the community. I'm hiring our own, because if I don't teach them how to be, who will? And not only that, and I wish more employers would do this, and I'm sure there's some out there that do, but I partner with the parents. So after I've hired them, I'm like, give me mommy's number. Let me talk to mommy, because we're partnering in this, because I have you for about 4 hours, 5 hours out of your day, right? You see mommy, you go to school, and then you come here. So I know I have an impact on your life, and I want to partner with your parents to find out what they're doing and how they're parenting you, so I can, you know, connect with, you know, in that way, so we can get stuff accomplished. But, you know, just, I haven't, you know, I've had, of course, some issues with some staff members, and that's to be expected. But I demonstrate tough love. I guess because of my New York background or upbringing, I'm very direct with them. Some of them don't get it, but some of them do. But I just, you know, I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. That's it. That's all.
And I'm sure they have learned quite a bit from you too.
And the parents too.
And you know, but you know something, it's like I'll never forget. You know, you listen to your parents, and you know, they're teaching you, and then later on in life, you become your parents. You're like, wow, did I just say that?
Into them,
so I'm sure someone's gonna say, did I just say what Miss Cameron, you know, just said to me? You know,
that's gonna happen for them probably.
Exactly, but you do it out of love. And that's the best part about it.
For sure, always.
So what's your biggest joy out of what you do?
You know what? It's so interesting you asked this question, because I had a conversation with my husband just this weekend about it. I love coming in here, talking to my customers. I love engaging for the last 14 years. I have students that come in here that have either worked for me or have been my customer, went to college, got married, had kids, came back with their kids and go, Miss Kisha. And I'm like, whoa, I'm getting old. This is crazy. But just to see that and see how they've matured and see them doing well, that brings me joy. And connecting with people on a different level. Some of my employees, they laugh at me because they're like, Miss Kisha, you talk to everybody. I sure they're gonna do. Because I really enjoy it. I enjoy engaging. And so, you know, even as I feel like God is leading me to pass the baton to someone else, you know, I feel like I'm definitely going to miss that aspect of engaging with my customers and meeting great people like you, because you were a customer.
And
still are.
And still are a customer. That's right. And will always be a customer.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, because this is, like I said, this, as far as the community, as far as Sandtown, as far as Camp Creek, Southwest Atlanta, city of South Fulton now. This is one of the places that, because I know after the games, this is where students like to come. I know this is a place where you can get good, healthy food. And more importantly, something that's going to help your soul. As you come engagement.
You know, for sure. And I really appreciate this community as a whole, just how they supported me. There was a season in my career where we were at a very low season. We weren't doing our best, right? I started to expand too soon, because that can happen as an entrepreneur. You just leap out without the consultation of the Lord. And I believe I did that, and I opened up a business on Washington Road.
I remember,
sucked my soul. It just snatched me. And it took me away from here and led me over there, where I began to neglect this community. But anyway,
Right.
This community stuck by me. They still patronized. They still came through, and they waited on me to get together.
Right.
They did, and I appreciate it. And so here I am, 14 years later, standing strong. Whereas a lot of times in this industry, people don't last past 7 years.
Right.
And let's not talk about the statistics
7,
for Black.
I think it's 5.
It's probably 5.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely
For a restaurant.
right.
Yeah.
And to be a Black woman, and my husband's my partner, so it's a husband and wife team.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
And he's a good partner too.
Yeah, he's an
a good man.
amazing.
He's a good man.
He's a silent partner too.
Right.
I'm telling my employees have never seen him before.
Get out of here.
No, my husband does not step foot in here. He is the
So
back.
he could walk in and
He
they
could walk in
wouldn't
there
even
and
know who
he
he
could walk
was.
in the back door and they'd be like, "What's going on?"
Right.
No, but
But he's a big supporter.
yeah,
of us,
he's
too.
a big supporter. He's a finance guy. He's my rock. He motivates me to get up every day and do it all over again.
Right.
He's like, "Come on, Keish, let's do this." So, I'm just proud and privileged to be here. I thank the coaches that support. I thank people like you who, served on the PTSA and all these other things that serve. And they come to me and ask me to support the school, and they know I'm going to do it. Now, it seems like word on the street is that I'm the person you go to at the last minute. Because when I tell you, I always get last minute catering requests.
Right.
And they know I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't need y'all to stop doing that.
Right.
I'll be like, okay, I'm going to get this done. And then I get it done.
But see, that's
I get it
done.
done.
But that's why they come to you, because they know they can count on you.
Yeah.
And that's important to people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would appreciate if I was top of mind first.
Right.
And not your last resort.
Right. Well, this is going to make you top of mind, because everyone is going to see this, knowing that you're here at the corner of Camp Creek and Campbellton.
Yes.
Right in the Sandtown.
Come see me.
Come see
me. Yeah.
Each and every time. I got one last question for you though. What would you tell your younger self?
Ooh. Calm down.
Calm down, okay.
No, when I was younger, I was a feisty, even until my mid-20s, I was just so super feisty and, confused a little bit, right?
Okay.
A little angry about, things that were happening in my childhood. But, if I could go back and say, girl, calm down. You're going to make it.
Right.
You're going to be all right. Everybody, the world is not against you.
Got you.
God's got his hands on you.
Yes.
He's going to bless you and your children's children. Mm-hmm. Relax.
And that's another thing too, is your children have grown. I've seen your children just grow up.
Right. They used to work in here when they were 10, 5 years old.
Right. And you taught them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And they're doing amazing things right now. So I'm so proud of them.
They're in college. They're, graduated.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm getting older too. You know what I'm saying?
Old,
right.
Yeah.
But it's a blessing.
It is a blessing. And you know what? And to that point about my younger self, like the aggressiveness I had, the way I was, I see a lot of that in some of the people I hire.
Right, okay.
So I connect with them in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth.
Right.
I know the struggles. And I have to tell the employees, y'all think, they think you have money, first of all.
Right.
And then I'm like, I got bills.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
2 of them. The house bills in this. Okay, so don't get it twisted. But I let them know, no. I came from my dad was a crack addict. He died of crack. Mm-hmm. He was an alcoholic. He was abusive to my mother. I just, I went to, I attended public schools. I've been through a lot. I've been in bad relationships. I've seen some things. I've done some things that I'm not proud of. And so when I get these employees that are a little bit edgy, they got a little resistance and, like a little attitude here and there, I know how to deal with them.
Yeah.
I tell them, I was you. There's nothing that you're doing right now that surprises me, right? But let me just tell you how you can just turn this around for yourself. Yeah. No, you're not going to quit. No, I'm not going to fire you. You're going to stick and stay. You're going to stay and you're going to work, and I'm going to teach you some things. And when you leave here, you're going to be better for it. I promise you. Trust me, a lot of employees can tell you that. They come back and tell me that.
Right.
They come back as a customer and say, Miss Kisha, man, the stuff that I learned from you, I want to say thank you. Because I was a knucklehead when I was here. I was like, yes, you were. But we dealt with it, didn't we? Right. We dealt with it.
Yeah. And that's the great thing about it.
Yeah.
And I can tell the Lord has prepared you.
Yeah.
I always think of the phrase that Sidney Poitier said, don't give them what you have teach them what you never knew.
Ooh.
And that always stuck with me. And I'm hearing that from you because you're giving them, what you learn that they can learn faster
now,
so that they can have a easier life.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
This has been amazing.
Yeah.
And we just appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
As far as what you've done for this community.
Yeah.
And for the people in the community. So it's a blessing to have business owners such as yourself.
Thank you.
So
it's a blessing to serve.
Absolutely. And you do it very well.
Thank you.
And we appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.
So what we want you to do is we want you to come down, not tomorrow, today. Come down, support Subway, Miss Kisha Cameron, and the family here at the Subway store that will not only give you a great sandwich, but will give you great conversation.
Yes.
So this is Joel Affey, Kisha Cameron, Subway. Come on down. We look forward to seeing you.
See you soon. Bye.
Yeah, let's record.
Let's record. Thank you. So
here we are. Finally.
Finally.
Good job.
Awesome.
No, you're awesome.
No, I mean,
fantastic.
and I
This is
learned
great.
stuff too. That's the part that's so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.